Ilia Topuria in the new UFC rankings has proved to be the number one pound for pound fighter in the world right now. Okay? And understand what the pound for pound rankings are different than our dude list, right? Our dude list has an aspect of who my favorite fighters are, things of that nature, but it also has an aspect of looking to the future. The pound for pound list is a list that's in the past, even though one would think that it's currently today. No, it's what have you done for me lately. Lately is still in the past, right? This is why a guy like Hamza Chimaev is number 14 on the pound for pound list. Even though, in my view, looking forward, he's the best fighter in the world. He's still got some proving to do, but to me, he's the best fighter in the world. I always want to make sure I explain the dude list for those of you that follow it. But in terms of what the UFC rankings are, pound for pound, that's what it is. You got Topuria at 1, Makhachev at 2. I'm looking at the lightweight, which is basically almost the same. That's how good the lightweight division is. Topuria, Makhachev, Merab Dvalishvili. That makes sense. Dricus Du Plessis, Alexandre Pantoja, Volkanovski, Ankalaev, and the list goes on and on. But that's the big story in terms of the rankings, is that Topuria is number 1. Now, when you look at what's coming next, you see a guy like Joshua Van catapulted all the way to number 1 in the flyweight rankings. We discussed this live on the podcast during UFC 317. How high will Van go? He'll be 1, 2, or 3, and I'm glad that they put him at 1. He deserves it. Is he ready for the title fight? I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. Pantoja seems like he's on a different level. Merab on a different level. Who knows who he's going to fight next? Volkanovski is going to have some challenges in the featherweight division. Movsar Evloev went up 2 spots today, despite not even fighting. So they're already starting to push him forward. And of course, Holloway's 1, but he's moving up the lightweight for in the near term. Topuria won the belt. They still got Makhachev at 2, but he's likely going to welterweight. That's a fight that everyone's talking about. Sarukian is right behind Islam. And then you got to go down a ways before you get to Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, who's ranked number 10. And he went on a tear on Charles Oliveira, calling him out and saying, more or less, what was the game plan here? I don't think there's a game plan against Topuria, or maybe there was, but it didn't even have a chance to play out. When you get beat in 2 minutes, it's hard to say that the game plan worked or it didn't. We don't know. Obviously, on some level, it didn't work because you got finished, but you didn't even get a chance to execute the game plan. That's called disruption. That's what Topuria did to Oliveira. And I'm still surprised at the way it finished. We shouldn't be looking back, but man, especially at the time, it was surprising. But Paddy Pimblett sitting at number 10, making some noise. He walked right in the octagon after the fight, which Dana White said shouldn't have happened. And you never know. This stuff sometimes is like WWE. I believe the fights are 100% real. But like the WWE, they're staging something for the future, right? It's almost like whoever wins that fight, we know that Sarukian is really next in line, but I don't believe the UFC wants Sarukian to be next in line. So it's like Paddy will be there live, so let's just march Paddy out, right? And he's number 10, but you can make the case that maybe he should get an opportunity because, look at the names up there. Oliveira beat. Sarukian can't make weight. Gaethje has been getting beat. Holloway, we're going to find out against Poirier. If Holloway wins that fight, even though he got beat by Topuria, suddenly maybe it's a different story at lightweight. I doubt it, but he's a different fighter. Then you got Poirier, who's retiring. Dan Hooker, who we haven't seen in some time, who's talking about fighting Sarukian. So we can go on and on about the lightweight division, right? We could spend 2 hours on this division. That's how good it is. But we got to move on. JDM, Jack Della Maddalena, welterweight champ. Who's next? there. It should be Islam if he wants it, right? But you also got Shavkat in the mix. How's that going to play out? Middleweight, we all know what's coming at 319. Duplessis and Chimaev, fight of the decade for me. Ankalaev is probably going to have to fight Pereira once again. And then Tom Aspinall, who's he fighting? Right? Cyril Gane? Alexander Volkov? I mean, who? This guy could be champion for a while if John Jones stays away. And then on the women's side, I mean, you got the regular names, Zhang Weili, Valentina Shevchenko, Amanda Nunes is coming back. We could very easily have the same three champions as we had 3, 4, 5 years ago. It seems like as these three continue to hold the top spots. So the women's divisions are very top heavy, and it seems like when the women, are between 35 and 37, they're at their peak. They last a little longer, unlike the men. But that's just where it stands.